The alien fleet arrived without warning. One moment the sky was clear, the next it was filled with dark silver ships that blocked the sun. People ran, cars crashed, and the air was full of noise and fear. Governments sent messages, but no reply came. Only silence. Then the ships began to move, slow, steady, and terrifying. 4 years, humanity had looked for life beyond Earth. Now that life had found us, it did not come in peace. The aliens called themselves the Karen. They spoke through strange symbols that appeared on every screen across the planet. Their message was short: submit or be erased. General Marcus Hale stood inside the command center under the mountains of Colorado. Around him, large screens showed chaos. Cities in flames. Communication lines failing. No one knew how to fight them. Every weapon used against the Karen had failed. Bullets melted before hitting their armor. Missiles vanished midair. Even nuclear blasts didn't leave a scratch. "They see us as ants," said Dr. Lena Ward, a physicist and one of the last scientists working in the bunker. "They think we are weak." Marcus looked at her. His eyes were tired but sharp. "Then we'll show them what weakness really means." Outside, the Karen moved through the sky like gods. Their ships glowed with cold blue light. In less than 3 days, they had taken every major city. Millions were gone. Billions were watching, hiding, waiting for something, anything that could save them. But something strange began to happen. The Karen ships started to disappear, one by one, from radar. No explosion. No signal. Just gone. The generals thought it was an error, but Lena didn't. She had seen the data. The readings weren't errors. They were signs. Signs of something alive, something human-made. In the ruins of New York, a small group of survivors moved through broken streets. Among them was a young soldier named Ryan Cole. He had seen his entire unit destroyed by a single Karen drone. He had nothing left. No family, no home. But deep inside, he felt something burning, a strange energy that he couldn't explain. That night, as lightning flashed above the dead city, Ryan saw one of the alien ships hovering low, scanning the ground. The beam of light moved closer. He ran into a building and hid behind the wall. The light passed over him, and something in his chest began to hum. His pulse matched the rhythm of the alien sound. Then, suddenly, the drone exploded. No weapon, no trigger, just pure energy bursting from Ryan's body. He fell to the ground, gasping, terrified of himself. The ship above began to move erratically, lights flickering. Then it crashed. Silence followed. The next morning, Ryan found Lena and the military group in an underground shelter. They looked at him like he was a ghost. The readings from the destroyed drone were impossible. Energy levels beyond anything humans could produce. Lena scanned him, her voice shaking. "Ryan, whatever you did, it wasn't human." Marcus leaned closer. "Maybe it's time to stop being human," he said quietly. The truth was simple but terrifying. Years ago, a secret project called Helios had begun, an experiment to unlock dormant potential inside the human mind. Most thought it failed. But it hadn't. The energy from the Karen invasion had activated it. People like Ryan were changing. Their bodies were reacting to the alien technology in ways no one could predict. As the group moved through the tunnels, the air trembled. A distant explosion echoed above. Ryan felt it before it happened, a vibration inside his bones, like he could sense the future. When the next blast came, he raised his hand instinctively. The debris stopped midair, floating around them like dust in slow motion. The soldiers stared in silence. Lena whispered, "We might not be as weak as they think." Meanwhile, high above Earth, the Karen commanders watched from their flagship. Their leader, a tall figure with silver eyes, turned to his advisors. "The humans resist. They have no technology equal to ours. Yet our ships vanish. Explain this." One of them replied, voice trembling, "We believe they are adapting. Evolving." The leader's expression hardened. "Impossible. Their biology is primitive. But deep within the ship, a system alarm flashed, unknown energy signatures detected. The readings matched the same frequency that powered their own weapons. The humans were learning. Back on Earth, Ryan stood at the mouth of the tunnel, staring at the rising smoke. His hands trembled, not from fear, but from power he couldn't control. Lena walked up beside him. "We'll need to teach you how to use it." "Use it for what?" he asked. She looked up at the sky, where more alien ships descended. "To remind them who we are." Thunder rolled again, but this time it wasn't from the clouds. It came from Ryan, from every human who began to feel the same awakening. The war wasn't over. It had only just begun. And for the first time, humanity wasn't the hunted. We were the storm. The underground base was silent except for the low hum of generators. People were tired, hungry, and afraid, but there was something new in the air now: hope. Ryan sat in the corner of the room, staring at his hands. They looked normal, but he could still feel the energy moving under his skin, like electricity searching for a way out. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw flashes, light, motion, and voices that didn't belong to him. Lena entered the room, holding a small device. "We need to test you again," she said softly. "Your energy might be the key to understanding what's happening." Ryan hesitated. "What if I lose control again?" She smiled, though her eyes were tired. "Then we learn from it." General Marcus watched from a distance, his arms crossed. He wasn't a man who believed in miracles, but what he saw the night before had changed everything. If even one human could destroy an alien drone with his mind, then maybe the war wasn't lost. They moved Ryan into a large metal chamber built for testing weapons. The walls were thick, and several soldiers stood outside, ready for anything. Lena placed sensors on his body. "Just focus," she said. "Try to remember what you felt when the drone attacked you." Ryan took a deep breath. The memory came back fast: the fear, the anger, the sound of screaming metal. His pulse quickened. The lights in the room began to flicker. The sensors on his body glowed bright red. Power levels rising. Lena shouted. The air grew heavy, vibrating like thunder trapped inside a box. Ryan clenched his fists. Sparks of blue energy cracked around him. Then, with a deep breath, he pushed forward, and the entire wall shook. When the light faded, the wall was still there, but a large burn mark covered it. Lena stared in disbelief. That blast was stronger than any plasma weapon we've seen. Ryan fell to his knees, breathing hard. "I can't control it for long," he said. "It feels like it wants to explode." Lena knelt beside him. "We'll teach you. We'll teach all of you." Outside the base, the world was changing fast. Across the globe, reports came in of people showing strange abilities: energy bursts, telekinesis, heightened senses. The Karen had triggered something inside the human race, something buried deep within our DNA. But the aliens didn't stop. They were furious. Cities that had survived the first wave were now being targeted again. Massive energy cannons from orbit began to strike the Earth's surface, burning everything they touched. The world was falling apart, and humanity's only chance rested in a handful of people like Ryan. Marcus called a meeting. "We can't stay hidden anymore," he said. "They'll find us. We fight back now." Lena looked uncertain. "We don't even know how many gifted humans exist. We're not ready." Marcus slammed his fist on the table. "Neither were we when they came. If we wait, we die. If we fight, we have a chance." Ryan listened quietly. His body still ached from the tests, but his mind was clear. "I'll fight," he said. "If this power was given to me for a reason, then I'll use it." Soon after, the group began training. Every day was a struggle. The gifted humans learned to focus their energy. Some could bend metal, others could heal wounds, and a few could sense danger before it came. But the power was unpredictable. One wrong move could kill them all. One night, Ryan stood outside the base, watching the dark sky. A soft voice came from behind him. You can't sleep either? It was Lena. He shook his head. Every time I close my eyes, I see their ships. I see people dying. I can't forget it. She looked at him for a moment, then said, maybe that's what makes you human. You still care. Before Ryan could answer, a loud alarm blared. The monitors lit up, alien movement detected. A Karan scout ship was approaching the mountains. Marcus shouted orders. Positions. Everyone prepare for contact. Ryan's pulse began to race. He ran to the surface with the others. The night sky turned blue as the alien ship descended, its engines roaring like a storm. The soldiers fired rockets, but they vanished in midair. Then, without thinking, Ryan stepped forward. He raised his hands. The air shimmered around him. The alien beam struck, a line of deadly energy meant to erase everything in its path. But it stopped inches from his face, frozen in the air. The soldiers gasped. Ryan's voice was calm. My turn. He pushed forward, and the beam reversed direction, slamming back into the ship. The explosion lit up the mountains. Pieces of alien metal rained from the sky. Marcus stared in shock. Did he just? Lena nodded, speechless. He turned their own weapon against them. For the first time since the invasion began, humanity had won a battle. Far above, in orbit, the Karan leader watched the explosion through his ship's holographic screen. So, he said coldly, the humans have found power. His second-in-command bowed. Should we increase the attack? The leader smiled. No. Let them believe they can win. I want to see how far their evolution goes before we crush them. Back on Earth, Ryan stood among the burning wreckage, looking up at the stars. The others cheered behind him, but he felt something strange, a shadow in his mind, like someone was watching him. He whispered, they're not done yet. And neither are we. As the wind carried smoke across the valley, Lena walked up beside him. What do we do now? Ryan turned to her, eyes glowing faintly with blue light. We start fighting for real. And somewhere deep underground, something ancient and powerful inside every human began to awaken, a storm that would soon change the fate of both species forever. The mountain base was no longer hidden. Smoke still rose from the valley where the alien ship had fallen. The soldiers worked fast to collect every piece of the wreckage before more Karan ships arrived. Ryan stood near the crash site, holding a strange crystal that had survived the explosion. It pulsed softly in his palm, alive with blue light. Lena walked up beside him, scanning the crystal with her device. It's not just technology, she whispered. It's organic. Like it's part of them. Ryan looked at it carefully. Then maybe that's why they're afraid of us now. We're learning how they work. Back inside the base, General Marcus gathered the team. We've picked up alien signals near the coast, he said, pointing to a glowing map. They're building something big. We need eyes there. Ryan volunteered immediately. I'll go. Lena frowned. It's too dangerous. If they capture you, they'll find out what you are. Ryan's eyes didn't waver. They already know. That's why I have to go. A small group of 4 set out at dawn, Ryan, Lena, and 2 soldiers named Cruz and Mira. They traveled through empty towns, broken highways, and quiet forests that used to be full of life. Everything felt hollow, like the earth itself was holding its breath. By nightfall, they reached the coast. From a cliff, they saw it, a massive alien structure rising from the ocean, glowing with the same blue light as the crystal. Giant machines moved around it, and hundreds of Karan drones guarded the perimeter. Lena whispered, "That's not a weapon, it's a portal." Ryan stared in disbelief. "They're bringing more of them." Before they could retreat, a loud hum filled the air. A Karan drone appeared above them, its scanner beam sweeping across the rocks. They froze, but it was too late, the drone saw them. Ryan stepped forward, raising his hand, but before he could release his energy, a sudden flash struck the drone from behind. It exploded in a burst of light. The group turned, shocked. Out of the shadows came a figure, tall, thin, wearing a torn metallic suit. His skin shimmered faintly like silver. Lena gasped. "That's a Karen." The alien raised his hands slowly. "Do not fear. I am not your enemy." His voice was deep but calm, his words broken but understandable. Marcus's soldiers pointed their weapons. Ryan stopped them. "Talk," he said. "Why should we believe you?" The alien looked at him with glowing eyes. "Because I saw what you did. You destroyed one of our ships with your mind. That should be impossible. Yet you did it." Lena stepped closer, cautious. "Who are you?" "My name is Karel," he said. "I was a scientist before the war. The High Command believes humans are weak, unworthy of existence. But I studied your species. You are different. Something inside you is changing." Ryan frowned. "You mean our powers?" Karel nodded. "Yes. Your kind was never meant to have such energy, but our weapons, our technology, they awakened it. You are adapting faster than even we can understand." Lena's voice shook. "What are they building in the ocean?" Karel's expression darkened. "A gate to the home world. Once it opens, there will be no stopping them. Billions of soldiers will come." Ryan clenched his fists. "Then we destroy it." Karel looked at him sadly. "You cannot. The structure is powered by a core that feeds on life energy. It draws from the planet itself. If you destroy it, you might destroy Earth." The group fell silent. The waves crashed below, echoing the hopelessness in their hearts. Mira spoke softly. "So what do we do?" Karel turned to Ryan. "There is another way. The energy inside you, it can disrupt the core without destroying it. But it will kill you." Lena shook her head. "No. There has to be another way." Karel looked down. "There isn't. Your kind was never supposed to survive this long. But you have become something new." Ryan looked at the glowing portal in the distance. He could feel it pulsing in his chest, calling to him like a heartbeat. Maybe that's what it means to be human, doing what we must, even if it kills us. Before anyone could speak, explosions echoed across the shore. The Karen had found them. Blue beams tore through the cliffs as drones swarmed overhead. "Move!" Ryan shouted. The team ran down the hill, dodging the blasts. Cruz fired his rifle, but the drones kept coming. Karel raised his hands and released a burst of energy, shielding them. Ryan stopped, watching him. "You're helping us." Karel grinned faintly. "I told you, I'm not your enemy." Together, they fought side by side, human and alien. Ryan's power grew stronger, his energy brighter. He caught one of the drones midair and crushed it with a wave of his hand. The others followed his lead, using their gifts to destroy the machines. When the last drone fell, silence returned. The portal still glowed far away, brighter than before. Karel turned to Ryan. "They will come for you now. The High Command will see you as a threat to their existence." Ryan wiped the dust from his face. "Then let them come." Lena looked at him with fear and pride. "You can't fight them all." He smiled faintly. "I don't plan to. I'm going to make them afraid." As dawn broke, the ocean shimmered with alien light. The war had changed again, and this time, humanity wasn't fighting alone. Karel looked at the rising sun and whispered, "Maybe your kind will survive after all." Ryan stared at the horizon, feeling the energy within him growing stronger, wilder. The portal hummed in the distance, waiting. The battle for Earth was far from over. And somewhere in the void above the stars, the Karen leader watched and said quietly, "Let them evolve. The stronger they become, the sweeter their fall will be." The ocean was calm that morning, but everyone in the camp knew it was only the silence before the storm. The alien portal glowed brighter each day, stretching taller from the waves like a wound in the earth. Strange energy spread across the coast, twisting the air, turning the sky a pale blue even at night. Ryan stood at the cliffside, watching it. His hands were still bruised from the last battle, but his power pulsed stronger than ever. Carell stood beside him, his silver eyes reflecting the light of the alien structure. "The gate will open soon," the alien said quietly. "Once it does, the High Command will unleash their army. You will not be able to stop them." Ryan glanced at him. "Then we don't let it open." Lena approached with a datapad in her hand. "We've scanned the structure," she said. "The core is buried deep inside the ocean, protected by a force field. But there's a maintenance tunnel that leads under it. We could use it to sneak in." Marcus appeared behind her, his face serious. "It's a suicide mission. One wrong move and the whole place goes up." Ryan looked at him calmly. "That's why I'll go." Lena's voice broke. "You can't keep saying that. You're not the only one who can fight." Ryan turned to her. "I'm the only one who can connect to their energy. You said it yourself. It reacts to me. Maybe it's time I use that." Carell nodded slowly. "He's right. The core is living energy. Only he can stop it." Marcus sighed, defeated. "Then we go together. If we die as one." That night, under the cover of darkness, a small ship moved silently across the waves. Inside were Ryan, Lena, Marcus, Carell, and a few soldiers. The ocean shimmered with alien light beneath them, glowing veins of energy running through the water. It was beautiful and terrifying. As they reached the structure, the scale of it hit them. It rose from the sea like a mountain of steel and glass, alive with movement. Drones floated in patterns around it, guarding every inch. Carell touched his wrist device. "I can disable their sensors for a few minutes. After that, you'll be on your own." Ryan nodded. "Then let's move." The group dove into the water, their suits glowing faintly. They swam toward a narrow tunnel under the structure. The hum of energy grew louder the closer they got. It wasn't just sound, it was a feeling, like the ocean itself was alive and watching them. Inside the tunnel, the walls pulsed like veins. Blue light crawled across the metal. Lena whispered, "It feels alive." Carell replied softly, "It is. The portal is not a machine. It's a being, created to feed on energy. It consumes worlds and grows stronger." Marcus cursed under his breath. "They're using our planet as fuel." Ryan stopped swimming. "Then I'll burn it from the inside." They reached a chamber filled with floating energy crystals. At the center was the core, a giant sphere of light, spinning slowly. Every pulse made the ground tremble. Ryan stepped closer, his body reacting immediately. The air shimmered around him. Lena reached out. "Be careful. Your energy might connect with it." Ryan smiled faintly. "That's the point." He closed his eyes and touched the core. A surge of power rushed through him. Memories flashed before his eyes, not his own, but alien memories. Planets burning. Civilizations erased. The Karen didn't just conquer worlds. They harvested them. He fell to his knees, gasping. "They're not invading us, they're feeding on us." Carell looked away, shame in his voice. "It is how we survive. But when I saw what you were becoming, I knew there was another way." Ryan stood, his energy rising. "Then let's end it." Suddenly, alarms blared. The walls lit up red. Drones poured into the chamber. The group opened fire, but there were too many. Carell raised his hands and shouted, "Go! I'll hold them." Lena grabbed his arm. "You'll die." Carell smiled sadly. "I already betrayed my people. Let me finish it." He turned and unleashed a massive wave of energy, destroying the first line of drones. The chamber shook. Ryan and the others ran deeper toward the core. Marcus shouted, "Ryan, do it now." Ryan placed both hands on the glowing surface. His body began to burn with light. The energy inside him and the core started to merge. Lena screamed, "Ryan, stop. It'll kill you." He looked back at her, eyes glowing blue. "If I don't, everyone dies." The entire structure began to quake. The ocean outside roared. Lightning flashed across the sky. Ryan could feel the portal's heartbeat syncing with his own. He pushed harder, his scream echoing through the chamber. Then, silence. The light exploded outward, a blinding wave that stretched for miles. The sea rose high, and for a moment, everything stopped. When Lena opened her eyes, the core was gone. The portal was collapsing. The drones had fallen from the air, lifeless. She ran forward. "Ryan!" He lay on the ground, still breathing, but barely. His skin glowed faintly like dying embers. Marcus knelt beside him. "He did it." Carell limped toward them, wounded but alive. "The gate is closing. But it's not over. The High Command will feel what he did. They'll come." Ryan opened his eyes weakly. "Then we'll be ready." The sea calmed again, the giant structure sinking slowly into the water. Humanity had won another battle, but far above Earth, deep in the void, the Kharan fleet began to stir. The leader watched the collapsing portal on his screen. "So," he whispered, "the humans have learned to destroy our gates. Then we will bring war to their sky." Back on Earth, Lena held Ryan's hand. "You saved us." He smiled faintly. "Not yet. This is just the beginning." As the first light of dawn broke over the ocean, the waves carried the wreckage of alien machines to shore, silent proof that humanity was no longer weak. Something new had awakened. And this time, the universe would remember what it meant to face humans. Weeks passed after the ocean battle. The world was still scarred, but alive. Humanity had seen its first real victory against the Kharan, and word of it spread fast. Across the ruined cities, people began rebuilding. For the first time since the invasion, there was light in human eyes, hope. But deep in the sky, far beyond Earth's clouds, a new shadow was forming. The Kharan fleet had returned, not small ships this time, but war carriers the size of mountains. They drifted silently through orbit, blocking the stars. Inside the hidden base, General Marcus watched the radar in disbelief. "There are hundreds of them," he said. "This isn't a battle, it's extermination." Lena stood beside him, holding a tablet that showed data spikes. "Their energy levels are off the charts. They're preparing a full assault." Ryan entered the room, walking slowly but steady. His body still bore glowing marks from the ocean core. Each step he took made the floor vibrate faintly, like his energy was now part of the earth itself. Marcus looked at him. "You shouldn't even be walking." Ryan smiled slightly. "I don't have time to rest. They're coming, and I can feel them." Lena turned to him. "We can't fight them here. If they reach the surface, everything will burn." Ryan nodded. "Then we take the fight to space." Everyone stared at him, stunned. "Space." Marcus repeated. "Yes," Ryan said calmly. "We have alien wreckage from the crash sites. We've studied their engines, their weapons. It's time to use what we've learned." Over the next few days, the human resistance worked without sleep. Engineers, soldiers and scientists came together, building what they called Project Dawn, a fleet of hybrid ships powered by both human and Kharan technology. The world united for the first time in history. Even broken nations shared what little they had left. Lena worked beside Ryan, designing energy reactors that only he could power. "If these ships fly," she said, "it'll be because of you." Ryan looked at her, his eyes glowing faintly. "No. It'll be because of all of us." When the first ship launched, the ground shook. Fire lit up the sky as metal wings rose into the clouds. Humanity had finally taken its place among the stars, not as explorers, but as warriors. Above the planet, the Kharan leader watched the human fleet rise. "They dare to come to us," he said with a cold smile. "Then let them taste our fire." The battle began in orbit. The silence of space was broken by explosions of light. Human ships moved fast, smaller and more flexible than the massive alien carriers. The Karin fired plasma beams, but Ryan's fleet dodged and struck back with energy bursts that bent the laws of physics. Inside his ship, Ryan stood at the command deck. "Focus on the weak points," he ordered. "We hit them where their armor splits." The human weapons, powered by Ryan's own energy, pierced through the Karin shields for the first time. One by one, alien ships began to fall, burning silently into Earth's atmosphere. But victory came at a cost. Every time Ryan used his power to fuel the fleet, he felt his body weaken. The energy inside him was unstable. Too much, and it would destroy him. Lena's voice came through the comms. "Ryan, your readings are dropping. You can't keep this up." He gritted his teeth. "I can hold it." A massive blast hit the side of his ship, spinning it violently. Systems sparked. The Karin leader's voice echoed through the comms. "You think power makes you gods, human. But you are only playing with what you don't understand." Ryan steadied himself, staring out the cracked window. "Maybe. But we learn fast." He closed his eyes and reached deep into the energy within him. Blue light filled the ship, spreading through the fleet like fire through water. Every human pilot felt it, their ships responding faster, their weapons stronger. They moved like one being, guided by Ryan's will. Together, they struck at the heart of the Karin formation. The largest carrier, the command ship, loomed ahead. Ryan locked onto it. "All ships, follow my lead." The Karin unleashed a storm of plasma, but Ryan absorbed it, redirecting the energy back toward them. The beam hit the carrier with a roar, tearing through its shields. Lena watched from her station below, eyes wide. He's turning their own power against them again. In orbit, the Karin carrier exploded in silence, breaking apart into 1,000 glowing fragments. For a moment, the stars shone brighter. But as the humans cheered, Ryan felt something change. The connection between him and the alien energy deepened, too deep. He could hear their thoughts now, their fear, and something else. He gasped. "They're not fighting to conquer. They're running from something." Marcus's voice came through the radio. "What are you talking about?" Ryan's eyes widened. "They're escaping. There's something worse than them out there." The comms went quiet. The Karin fleet began to retreat, their ships turning toward deep space. It wasn't defeat, it was fear. Lena whispered, "What could make them afraid?" Ryan looked out at the stars, his expression dark. "I don't know. But it's coming." The human fleet drifted among the debris of the battle, victorious but shaken. For now, Earth was safe, but the war had just changed. Ryan floated in silence, staring at the endless black ahead. "We thought we were fighting to survive," he said softly. "Maybe we were being prepared for something greater." Far beyond the galaxy, something ancient stirred, a shadow older than both humans and Karin, watching, waiting. And deep inside Ryan's chest, the energy pulsed again, stronger than before. Humanity had won the sky. But the real enemy had not yet arrived. The battle in orbit was over, but the stars didn't look peaceful anymore. Wreckage drifted silently above the blue curve of Earth, broken alien ships, shattered metal, and fading sparks of energy. Humanity had won, yet Ryan couldn't feel victory. Something inside him kept whispering, something he didn't understand. For days, the fleet scanned space, searching for signs of the retreating Karin. But their signals had vanished completely. It was as if they had been swallowed by the darkness. Ryan stood alone on the command deck of the flagship Aurora. His reflection glowed faintly in the window. Every few seconds, the markings on his skin pulsed with blue light, like his heart now beat in sync with the energy of the universe itself. Lena entered quietly. "You haven't slept in 2 days," she said. "I can't," Ryan replied, still staring at the stars. "When I close my eyes, I see something massive. A shape moving in the dark. It's not Karin. It's something else." Lena frowned. "You think it's real?" He turned to her. It's not a dream. It's calling. Before she could reply, the ship's alarms blared. Marcus's voice came through the intercom. Ryan, you need to see this. Now. They ran to the command room. The big screen showed a distant section of space, near the edge of the solar system. A strange anomaly glowed faintly, like a storm made of light and shadow twisting together. Lena whispered, "What is that?" Carell, who stood beside the monitors, looked terrified. "It's them," he said. "The Devourers." Everyone turned to him. Ryan stepped forward. "The Devourers?" Carell nodded slowly. "They are the reason the Karan left our home world. The reason we came here. They consume entire galaxies, feeding on the energy of living worlds. We thought we could hide from them. By conquering others, by stealing their energy. But now they've found us again." Marcus clenched his fists. "You're saying all of this, the invasion, the war, it was just you running from these things?" Carell's voice was heavy. "Yes. And now they are coming for Earth." Silence filled the room. Outside the window, the stars looked smaller, colder. Ryan finally spoke. "Then we face them. Just like we faced you." Carell shook his head. "You don't understand. You can't fight them. They are not creatures. They are energy itself. You can't kill what doesn't live." But Ryan wasn't listening anymore. Deep inside, he could feel the pull, the same energy that connected him to the Karan core, now reaching toward that growing shadow. His body trembled. "They're not just coming," he said quietly. "They're already here." Suddenly, the ship's lights flickered. The air turned cold. Outside, the stars began to disappear, one by one. Something enormous moved in the distance, a wave of black mist rolling through space, swallowing everything it touched. Lena whispered, "Oh my God." The fleet scrambled into formation, weapons ready, but their systems started failing instantly. Power drained like water through sand. Communications went dead. One by one, ships went dark. Ryan closed his eyes, reaching out with his mind. He felt it, the hunger, endless and ancient. It wasn't attacking out of anger. It didn't even know what hate was. It simply consumed. Lena's voice shook. "Ryan, what do we do?" He opened his eyes, glowing brighter than ever. "I have to talk to it." Marcus shouted. "Are you insane? You can't talk to something like that." But Ryan was already walking toward the airlock. Carell grabbed his arm. "If you connect to it, it could erase you, or worse, become you." Ryan looked at him. "Maybe that's what I'm meant for." Outside, in the void, Ryan floated in his suit, surrounded by the wreckage of the battlefield. The stars flickered as the dark wave approached, vast, endless, and silent. He could feel it touching his mind, like 1,000 whispers at once. "Who are you?" Ryan said aloud. The darkness answered not with words, but with feelings, hunger, emptiness, and a strange curiosity. It showed him visions of entire galaxies fading away, of stars collapsing, of countless species vanishing like dust. Then it spoke, a voice deep as thunder in his mind. "You are light that should not burn. You are noise in my silence." Ryan's energy flared, pushing against the void. "You destroy life. But we fight back. That's what we are." The voice rumbled through him. "You are small. You will join the silence." Ryan screamed as energy surged through his body. His suit cracked, his eyes glowing like twin suns. He pushed back with everything he had, sending a wave of light through the darkness. For a moment, the black mist recoiled, not defeated, but surprised. On the ship, Lena watched the scanners. "He's doing something. The readings are off the scale." Marcus shouted, "Pull him back." But Ryan was far beyond reach now. The darkness surrounded him, trying to consume him, yet his light grew stronger, fueled by every memory of Earth, every face, every voice that had ever fought to survive. "Humanity is not silence," he said through gritted teeth. We are the storm. A massive burst of light exploded from him, cutting through the shadow. The devourer shrieked, not in pain, but in confusion, and withdrew into the deep void, vanishing into darkness once more. The stars returned. The power readings stabilized. The fleet floated in stunned silence. Lena's voice broke. "Ryan, can you hear me?" Static answered. Then, faintly, "I'm here." They found him drifting among the wreckage, alive but changed. His eyes glowed like stars, and his voice echoed with a strange resonance. Carell looked at him in awe. "You touched the devourer, and survived." Ryan opened his eyes slowly. "No, I didn't just survive. I think I became part of it." Lena froze. "What does that mean?" Ryan looked out the window, toward the endless black. "It means I can feel everything now. The universe. The danger. They'll come again, stronger." Marcus sighed. "Then we prepare." Ryan nodded. "Yes. But next time, we won't just defend Earth. We'll take the fight to the stars." Outside, the light of the returning sun reflected off the broken ships, symbols of humanity's new strength. The war was far from over. And in the quiet of deep space, a new heartbeat echoed, human, alien, and something beyond both. The beginning of the next evolution had arrived. Months passed since Ryan faced the devourer. The skies above Earth were clear again, but everyone knew it was only a pause. The stars had grown quiet, too quiet. Humanity had rebuilt faster than ever before. Cities glowed with new life. Hybrid technology powered everything. For the first time, humans and Karen worked side by side. Ryan no longer looked fully human. His eyes glowed softly all the time now, and faint lines of light ran beneath his skin. He could feel energy moving through the world, every pulse of power, every heartbeat of the planet. Lena often watched him with worry and wonder. "You're changing," she said one night as they stood on the edge of the rebuilt command tower. Ryan smiled faintly. "So is everyone. Humanity isn't the same anymore. The war changed us." Carell stepped forward, looking toward the stars. "The devourers are moving again. I can feel their presence. They are gathering at the edge of this galaxy." Marcus joined them. "How long before they reach us?" Carell's voice was low. "Weeks. Maybe less." Ryan nodded slowly. "Then we don't wait for them. We take the fight to them." The room fell silent. Lena's eyes widened. "You want to go after them? Into deep space?" Ryan looked at her, calm but determined. "We can't keep hiding behind Earth. They'll just keep coming. It's time to end this, for good." Within days, preparations began. The humans and Karen built a new fleet together, ships powered by Ryan's energy signature, faster and stronger than anything before. They called it the Dawn Armada. It wasn't just a fleet, it was a symbol of everything they had become, human courage mixed with alien wisdom. When launch day came, billions watched from Earth. Ryan stood at the head of the flagship, Eclipse 1. Lena stood beside him, her hand resting on the console. "Ready?" she asked softly. He smiled. "Always." The fleet rose through the clouds, hundreds of ships glowing with white-blue light. They broke through the atmosphere and vanished into the stars. 4 days they traveled through empty space, until they reached the edge of the galaxy. And there, waiting in the darkness, was the devourer. It wasn't a creature. It wasn't even a single thing. It was a storm, a swirling sea of shadows and light stretching across the void. Every movement swallowed stars. It looked alive, but it was emptiness given form. Marcus whispered, "How do we fight that?" Ryan closed his eyes. "We don't fight it like soldiers. We fight it like creators." He raised his hand, and light flowed from him, spreading through the fleet. Every ship lit up, their engines humming with his energy. "We are not prey," he said. "We are life. We are the spark that refuses to die. The fleet charged forward. Beams of energy lit up the dark. The Devourer answered with waves of shadow that tore through space itself. Ships vanished instantly, swallowed whole. But for every ship lost, more humans pushed forward, fearless. Carell shouted through the comms. Their core is inside the storm. If we destroy it, we can end them. Ryan nodded. Then we go straight through. The fleet followed him into the storm. Chaos surrounded them, lightning made of darkness, explosions of light that felt like screaming. Lena's ship shook violently. We can't hold the formation. Ryan's voice came through, calm and steady. Hold on to me. He reached deep into his energy, connecting every human and Karen ship through his mind. The fleet became one, every thought, every fear, every hope shared. Together, they moved as a single force. Inside the storm, Ryan finally saw it, the heart of the Devourer. A massive sphere of dark light, pulsing like a dying star. It wasn't evil. It was just hunger, endless and lonely. He spoke softly, his voice echoing through the void. You consume because you're empty. But we create because we live. The Devourer's voice boomed back. You are a spark. I am the end. Ryan smiled faintly. Then let's see which one lasts longer. He flew straight toward the core, his body glowing brighter than ever. Lena's voice cracked over the radio. Ryan, don't. You won't survive. He whispered back, if humanity lives, that's enough. He closed his eyes and let go. All his power, all the energy of every ship, every human, every Karen, flowed into him. A single burst of light brighter than 1,000 suns erupted from his body. The storm screamed, folding in on itself. The darkness shattered. And then, silence. When the light faded, space was calm. The Devourer was gone. The storm had vanished completely. Lena's ship drifted through the quiet. Ryan, she whispered. Are you there? No answer. Just the soft crackle of static. Then, slowly, a figure appeared in the distance, glowing faintly, surrounded by drifting light. Ryan. His voice came through the comms, soft but steady. It's over. Cheers erupted across every ship. The war that began with fear had ended with hope. Humanity had done the impossible. Back on Earth, as the fleet returned, people filled the skies with light, signals of celebration that could be seen from orbit. Carell stood beside Ryan in the ship. You did it, he said. Ryan looked at him quietly. No. We did. Lena smiled through tears. What happens now? Ryan looked out at the stars. Now we build something better. Together. Because if the universe ever forgets who we are. He turned, his eyes glowing softly. We'll remind them. The stars shimmered, brighter than before, as the fleet sailed home, humans and Karen united, no longer enemies but survivors of the same storm. And across the endless sky, the story of Earth spread, the story of the species that refused to die, that turned weakness into strength, and faced the darkness not with fear, but with fire. For the first time in history, the universe whispered the truth. They thought humans were weak, until we unleashed our true power.